inside the XL Energy Center, everyone, as we get set for the final meeting of the season between the Edmonton Oilers and the Minnesota Wild. Let's meet the starting goaltenders, brought to you by Tim Hortons, our Canada, our coffee. Nikolai Khabibulin goes after his 332nd career win in his 11th start of the season. Now 6 of Khabibulin's 331 victories have been against the Wild. At the other end, 35-year-old Nicholas Backstrom is second in the NHL in wins and a perfect 17-0 against the Oilers here at the XL Energy Center. And Louis, we knew it's an important game for the Minnesota Wild because Nicholas Backstrom told us as we walked up to him, I'm not talking this morning.
Yeah, he was pretty businesslike as usual in the dressing room before the game, and sometimes he will talk before, but tonight obviously a big game for the Minnesota Wild. No conversation for him, and Zdeno Konopka and Mike Brown are facing off against each other here to start things off. They're going to go.
And they drop the gloves. Louis, you called this one early. These guys have fought a lot in the last little while.
Yeah, 5 times in their career, 3 times last year in that Toronto-Ottawa battle of Ontario, and no strangers to one another, that's for sure.
Zdeno Konopka fighting for the 9th time from Mike Brown. It's his 12th fight, and look at those right hands for both guys going. Mike Brown hasn't fought for a while, but as Louis mentioned, he has fought Zdeno Konopka a lot in the Battle of Ontario and beyond. Brown gets right up and starts throwing right hands. This one's not over yet. The game just 2 minutes old, and Mike Brown and Zdeno Konopka dropped the gloves as both fourth lines started, and we knew we might see some fireworks, and we are, as Brown shifts to the left hand to try and connect with Konopka.
This one's gone on for a while, too. Both guys jostling, trying to find a way to get loose, and finally the Zebras get in there, but what a way to start. You saw that Edmonton was starting the fourth line, Kevin. And for Mike Yeo, he decided to start his fourth line. Zdeno Konopka, typically a centerman, steps over the left side, and they have a conversation before the puck is dropped. No strangers to one another, as you mentioned. 5 times they fought, that being their 6th in the National Hockey League, and 3 times last year. Let's get things started here. They want to start the pace early, make it a playoff-like atmosphere as the Minnesota Wild can clinch a spot with a win tonight.
And there's a look, and we talked about Mike Brown not fighting for a while. He's fought a lot, but 2 seconds into this contest, he drops the gloves with a familiar foe.
Yeah, you know, and Mike Brown has stepped over here to the Edmonton Oilers. You can see that the winning percentage goes up when he fights. And when the team has some fighting majors, so obviously he's added that spark, and it gets going 2 seconds into this one here. They're heated up down there.
Fourth line stays out there, but they now have Jordan Eberle on that line. Zach Parise plays it off the boards, kept in by Jared Smithson. Eberle behind the net. Centers for Ryan Smith. Smith back to the point. Here's Potter with a shot. He scores. Corey Potter from the point, and it's 1-0 for the Oilers. 27 seconds into the first period.
And a shift in which they were all over the Minnesota Wild early on. Had a couple great opportunities. Eventually, it's Ryan Smith takes a little dish from Eberle, walks it around the net, and finds Corey Potter coming late. He just drills it through the traffic. Great job by Smithson in front to provide that screen in front of Backstrom. Can't see a thing with that body in front of him. And just a blast that has eyes and a 1-0 lead.
Corey Potter came into the game without a goal in his last 11 games. But he gets things started here as the Oilers are trying to defeat Minnesota for the first time this season. Let's take a look at the keys to the game, brought to you as always by the 2013 Ford Super Duty. It's built Ford tough.
Well, for the Edmonton Oilers, it's turnovers, and it's all about that for their game playing the Minnesota Wild. In that game, Wednesday versus the Chicago Blackhawks, Wednesday versus Chicago, they had 22-4 in giveaways. So too many in that game. They'll have to shore that up in this one here. And for the Minnesota Wild, seal the deal. They can clinch a playoff berth with a win tonight, and they'd like to do it on home ice.
They've got their top line out there. Charlie Coyle with Koivu and Parise. Mikko Koivu behind the net, checked by Jeff Petrie along with the captain Sean Horkoff. And it comes to Nail Yakupov. Yakupov, Horkoff, and Hall, the forward line now for the Edmonton Oilers as Falk knocks down Hall. That gets a big rise from the folks here in St. Paul, Minnesota.
A little bit of a straight arm there by Falk, and a big customer playing D for Minnesota. And for Taylor, Hall tries to chip it and charge, and Falk just kind of like a lineman just stands him up.
Well, Jordan Eberle gets his 20th helper of the season. Ryan Smith now has 9. And Eberle back on that line with Sam Gagner and Magnus Bjarvi. Justin Schultz and Mark Fistrick are paired together for this game. So the Schultz boys not playing together. And we were joking with Mark Fistrick about the woe and the go. Fistrick, he got an assist against Chicago, so he's got 2 points in his last 3 games, Louis. Who's the go? Who's the woe?
Yeah, he's chipping in.
Minnesota Wild, as we've talked about, can clinch a playoff spot for the first time since 2008 if they get a victory here tonight. Devin Seneguchi behind the net. Cullen providing the screen in front. Clutterbuck, Cullen, and Seneguchi, and Clutterbuck doing what he does as he ran into Nick Schultz. Well, Nicole Love of Edmonton swiped the free club card on behalf of Safeway. You've won the HBNB X2 thanks to the Oilers' first goal of the evening. So congratulations, Nicole, on the second goal of the year for Corey Potter.
Yeah, you know, Corey Potter's started to do that on a frequent basis. Kevin has slipped down when that puck goes behind the net. He has that great one-time shot. And that one had eyes to start the game here very early into it after that quick bout between Brown and Konopka. The Oilers came out with a real energetic shift, and it paid off.
Here's Smithson with Jones and Smith. Ryan Jones turns, gave it away to a former Oiler, and that is Tom Gilbert, who flips it down the ice. A race for it. Cal Clutterbuck gets there first and pays the price as he was given a bump by Corey Potter. Clutterbuck got the winning goal in that game against LA on Tuesday. Minnesota scored 2 goals 16 seconds apart to put that game away. They have been struggling at home, 0-4-1 coming into that game before they beat LA. Parise sends it around the boards. Ryan Jones waiting for it on the other side. And Smithson will send it down the ice. Well, we've talked about the lineups. Here they are, brought to you by Boston Pizza, your hockey headquarters destination.
And Kevin, for the Minnesota Wild, Mike Rupp steps back into the lineup after being injured the last 4 games played. So Torrey Mitchell will step up in Jason Pominville's absence after getting elbowed in the chops by Brown last game versus the Los Angeles Kings on Tuesday night. Dustin Brown suspended 2 games for that elbow, and he's still not up to the task of playing. So Mitchell gets a chance up on that line with Brodziak and Pierre-Marc Bouchard.
Rupp had missed the last 4 games with a knee injury, and Louis, you get the feeling that if Columbus had won the other night, then this game meant nothing, that Mike Rupp might not be playing. But it's a huge game for the Minnesota Wild, and the Edmonton Oilers do not want to see another team celebrating like they saw Anaheim and Chicago.
Yeah, as you mentioned, the Pacific Division sealing game 2 games ago. In the last game, the Chicago Blackhawks wrapped up the President's Trophy, and if the Minnesota Wild was to win tonight, they would clinch a playoff berth. So obviously a lot at stake here for both sides. For Edmonton, it's pride. This is a team that has owned them in the last few years, here especially at Xcel Energy Center. That guy down at the other end, Nicholas Backstrom, 17-0 on home ice against Edmonton. So there's a lot to play for them as well, and maybe make it a tough time for their division rivals for the last year.
There's a shot from Ryan Suter, and it's up over the stick. The rebound did of Kyle Brodziak. Pierre-Marc Bouchard trying to keep it in. He does cross ice. Here's Brodziak. His shot deflected off the stick of Jeff Petrie and over top of the net, back to the point. Jonas Brodin with a wrist shot through traffic that hit Brodziak. He fires the puck. Heavy bull in the save. Down to the near side. Ryan Suter, over 32 minutes played in that game against Los Angeles. And his partner, 19-year-old Jonas Brodin, played over 29 minutes. Brodziak will bring it in. And that puck goes up and hits the netting, and we get a whistle.
Well, some good action by Minnesota off that face-off, and a good cycle shift down low. Heavy bodies going to the net. And Kyle Brodziak, who's really turned his season around, 8 goals on the season now, has a real good chance. Happy Bulin, it's almost a reaction-style save through the traffic, and he makes it. And no rebound to be had when you look at his career numbers. For Happy Bulin, he's had a terrific career. For Ralph Kruger this morning, he told us, Kevin, that he felt that he had that one more game this year, that he could close the door. That's why he elected to put him in there instead of Devin Dubnyk. And so far, so good for Happy Bulin. He's come out with a strong start.
His last win was March 26th in St. Louis. He faced a total of 43 shots and saved every one of them. Jordan Eberle's got Gagner in front. It gets by him right to Parise. Zach Parise, 17 goals, 37 assists, leads his team in those two departments. 37 points, that is. He's got 20 assists, and he got an assist against LA in that game on Tuesday. Parise behind the net. Koivu throws it towards the cage, and it's stopped by Habibulin. Parise keeps it in for young Charlie Coyle. Coyle gets knocked down by PRV. Gagne plays it behind the net, but Coyle is there on the intercept. Coyle bounces it off the net, gets it back again. Now he'll take a backhand, and that doesn't get through as Magnus PRV blocked it up. Eberle outlets to PRV. PRV, end of the shift, long shot, but he was offside. But Sam Gagne.
Some good work again in the defensive zone here by Edmonton. And for Charlie Coyle, you know, a real strong, big body, having a real solid first year in the National Hockey League for PRV. He just stays with them the whole way. So after a couple of battles, gets in front of that one there, heaving a little bit on the bench. Obviously out of gas when you battle like that, one-on-one. Those are combat drills down low. And he comes out on top and is able to get that puck out of the zone.
Magnus PRV played 41 games last year, had 8 points. This is game 41 for him tonight. And he's already got 9 goals and 5 assists. So some progress there for Magnus PRV.
Whole change in his game, Kevin. And, you know, that's one of the things coming in for PRV is obviously he has that speed. He has the finesse. The North American game a little bit different than when he was playing over in Sweden and had to alter that a little bit. And for Ralph Kruger, he's, you know, had nothing but praise for PRV. The way he's changed, the way he plays, goes to the blue paint, will attack the net and playing in tight quarters. And been a real nice turnaround for him.
Belanger, Jones, and Lander out there now. Anton Lander on the wing. Belanger plays the center position. He did not play in that game against Chicago. And talking to Lander this morning about moving over to the wing, he didn't really want to say it was easier, but his defensive responsibilities are not quite the same.
He only says it's easier when he has Timo Hartikainen sitting beside him. You know, they kind of go at it which position is more difficult. But no question, it's always a good option to have 2 centermen on a line. You can always step in there for a draw in case someone gets kicked out. Your defensive responsibilities as a centerman are a little bit obviously more.
Clutterbuck, long shot, blocker save, rebound for Cullen. Couldn't get a good backhand away. You talked about Timo Hartikainen. He is back in OKC, Oklahoma City. They are getting set for their playoffs. And Eric Belanger ready to play, so he is back in the lineup. Here is Corey Potter, the goal scorer. Flips it in. Going after it is Jones against Brodin. Pushes it to the corner. There's Zenon Konopka to the penalty box. Out in front it comes, and it's tipped away. At the last second by Brodin. Shot on. That one doesn't make it. Suter stopped it. Ryan Suter. 28 assists. He is second among defensemen in helpers. Averaging 27-13 a game.
Yeah, just incredible. And, you know, 5 of the last 9 games played, Ryan Suter's played over 30 minutes. So just an incredible amount of ice that he logs up, ice time. And for Ryan Suter, makes it look effortless. Makes a lot of good decisions on the ice. Definitely a Norris candidate this year with the way that he's played for Minnesota in his first year here after signing that big free agent deal. And he's having a real solid year.
Tell us Oilers hockey right here on Sportsnet.
Well, it's been quite a 10 months on the part of Nail Yakupov, and it all started last summer when the Edmonton Oilers drafted him first overall. Because of the lockout, he spent some time playing for his hometown team in the KHL. And on Tuesday, he's going to head back to Russia. And one of the hot spots for vacationers in Russia is to go to Turkey. The location is beautiful. The distance isn't very far. And once he's done in Turkey, then he'll continue working out this summer to try and get a leg up on the competition.
4th game played against the Minnesota Wild. He has already gotten 2 points. And his team has a 1-0 lead in this one with 13-11 to go in the first period. The shots favor the Wild 4-1, but that one went in the net. Clutterbuck with it now. Clutterbuck will chip it ahead. Sataguchi going after it against Justin Schultz. Schultz leads all rookie defensemen in points. Mark Fistrick behind the net, being watched by Matt Cullen. Ryan Smith. Changing to let. Keep an eye on that situation as Cal Clutterbuck doing what he does best, Louis.
No question about it. You have to have your head in a swivel when he's on the ice, and loves to finish his checks, and he'll continue to finish that check a little bit late at times. He's a hard hitter, and it's a skill, no question about that.
We apologize for our video problems. We are working on it. Taylor Hall behind the net. Ryan Suter watching him. Trying to keep it in was Petrie. Yermak Bouchard gave it away to Hall. Taylor Hall with a shot. He scores. Taylor Hall makes it a 2-0 game. He's got 16 goals on the season. And the Oilers have come out strong here in the first period.
Absolute zinger, too. Good work on the backtrack here by Yakupov just to deter that puck from getting out. And Bouchard, little pick pocket there. Hall does on Bouchard, walks out, uses the defenseman as a screen, and puts it right through the legs of Suter up over top of the shoulder of Backstrom. So just a terrific wrist shot. Again, that aggressive forecheck by Edmonton. Watch Hall recognizing here a little turn body. I'll take that from you. Thank you. Walks in and sings it home for a 2-0 lead.
Taylor Hall did not have a shot on goal in that game against Chicago. His first goes in the net, and it's 2-0. He's got 16 goals on the year.
There's a penalty coming up here to Ladislav Schmid.
And it's going to be a holding call, and the Minnesota Wild will get the first power play of this game.
And again, Charlie Coyle, who's had a real solid first year in the National Hockey League. Big body cycling down low once again. And for Schmid, just gets that grip up a little bit too high in the shoulder of Coyle. And you'll watch the left hand here come up over top of the shoulder. That little one there. He kind of recognized it right away, pulled it back, didn't really deter Coyle too much. But the watchful eyes of the referees picked that up, and the Minnesota Wild get the first power play.
Wild had just one power play opportunity against LA on Tuesday. They are 2 for 8 against the Oilers in the season series, and they go to work for the first time here. Back it goes to Suter. He'll give it to Mikko Koivu. Koivu trying to get around Petrie. Petrie and Schultz. Nick Schultz out there. And Petrie has the puck, and he'll send it down the ice. Smithson and Smith will change up. And that will allow Anton Lander and Sean Horkoff to hop over the boards. The Oilers with the 7th best penalty killers on the road. The Wild, their power play is struggling at home. It's 28. Charlie Coyle, Mikko Koivu, Zach Parise's in front. Spurgeon will give it to Suter. Suter with a wrist shot deflected. Happy Bulin the save. Parise looking for the rebound. It's still alive. And now the whistle goes.
Tough save for Happy Bulin, and a good job by him to stay in the battle. You can see him just kind of make flat onto the ice after this one goes through. Deflects, no question about it. It has movement. And for Happy Bulin, just stays with it. And you can see him watching the puck the whole time as he's trying just to stay in that position, not move too much. Good job by Horkoff to come back after Parise, who's always around that net, does a good job to jam away a couple times, but can't get it by Happy Bulin.
1:17 to go in the penalty for Ladislav Schmid. Koivu steps in against Smithson. And Koivu's going to get thrown out of the circle, so Smithson will go up against Charlie Coyle. Smithson was 8-4 in the faceoff circle against Chicago. He is over 55% success rate in the dot, and he wins another one. Corey Potter hammers that puck around the boards, trying to keep it in, and does is Spurgeon. Coyle in now. Coyle down low for Koivu. Koivu on the far corner will play it up top for Ryan Suter and get it right back again. The captain will give it to Suter. Suter fakes the shot, and Spurgeon will take it, but Happy Bulin was over there to make the save. Mark Bistrick trying to pin it against the boards. Parise gets it loose. Ryan Smith over to check him. Under a minute to go in the man advantage. The Oilers with a 2-0 lead on 3 shots. Suter keeps it in at the point. A wrist shot through traffic, and that gets blocked by Mark Bistrick. Another shot right out in front for Coyle. Spurgeon comes down and tries to keep that puck in. It gets pinned against the near boards. The battle continues. The Oilers will take this as it's winding time off the power play clock. Back to Suter at the point. He delivers the Coyle cross ice for Koivu. Koivu out in front for Parise, and he couldn't tip it home. Spurgeon back to Suter at the point. Suter over to Koivu. His shot goes wide. Coyle behind the net. 10 seconds to go in the man advantage. Spurgeon on the near side. Spurgeon back up top for Suter. Suter will give it right back to Spurgeon. The Edmonton native gets checked. And here comes Ryan Smith just as Ladislav Schmid steps out of the box. And the Oilers successful on that penalty kill.
A couple of real good opportunities for Minnesota. A couple good saves by Habby Boone and good effort down low by Edmonton to try and keep the power play to the outside. And they succeed in killing that off.
3 shots for the Wild on that power play. They've got 9 so far in the period. Pierre-Marc Bouchard on the far side. He'll give it to Setaguchi. Devin Setaguchi behind the net for the veteran Matt Cullen, being watched by Schmid. Schmid knocks him down in front of his knees. He got the shot away. Setaguchi with it again. Petrie trying to get it out. The Wild keeping the pressure on after that power play. They have kept the momentum. Tom Gilbert shot, and look at that glove save by Nikolai Habibulin. Taylor Hall, 46 points on the season as he gets his 16th goal. It's 2-0.
It's time now for the region.
It's been quite a night on the part of Corey Potter and the Edmonton Oilers. He's had some exciting times, both during the hockey season and prior to, because after playing in Austria, he came home late December, and then in January, his baby girl, the first of the family, was born. And when the Oilers were on that long road trip, she had a chance to meet both Corey and Corey's wife's families in the Detroit area. Went through the baby book of names. Didn't name her the first day, but named her the second day. Came up with Presley. When she hears this story, she might end up being all sugar.
We know that Corey Potter can shoot the puck, and we saw evidence there as Yakupov goes cross ice. Nick Schultz plays it behind the net. The goal scorer, Taylor Hall, is out there. Hall, Yakupov, and Horkoff. Cullen diving to get that play. A bouncing puck, and no. It's offside.
Here is the basket of half-eaten zucchini sticks from the win known as Money Monday.
Get your game on with Pools.
Well, we have another winner in our Safeway Score and Win. Roger Urepko of Edmonton by swiping his free club card, and he's won the Husqvarna trimmer courtesy of Safeway. Congratulations, Roger, and that's on the goal by Taylor Hall, his 16th of the season. He came in tied for 17th in the league in points.
Yeah, it's been a terrific year, Kevin, for Taylor Hall this year. And when you look at the way that he stepped in, had that shoulder surgery last year, rehabbed it all year long, the same surgery that Ryan Nugent-Hopkins is going to have to deal with all summer. And obviously no worse for wear, and he's come into this year and is producing at over a point per game pace.
17th in assists. Kyle Clutterbuck. Cutting corner, that's Michael Rupp with a backhand that goes wide. Rupp back in the lineup, and he is one big dude.
Thank God Clutterbuck's not that big.
6'5", 243 pounds. Rupp runs into Justin Schultz, using that 243 pounds. Clayton Stoner throws it around the boards. There is Rupp to pick it up. He'll leave it there for Kanapka, who dumps that puck in. Going after it hard is Jake Dowell. Dowell called up from the affiliate in Houston for that game against Los Angeles. That was his first of the season. Dowell gets pinned against the boards by Corey Potter. Pushes it behind the net. Jeff Petrie will pick it up. Jeff Petrie, as Gene mentioned, going to the World Championships, representing the United States. Kanapka with the puck now. He'll backhand it towards the net. Gets right through. Bouchard looking for the rebound. Cleared away, and Ryan Smith has got it. Ryan Smith gets this center. He'll chip it, try and fight through the check of Jared Spurgeon. Spurgeon with 14 points on the season. Justin Schultz plays it around the boards. Waiting for it there is Magnus Piarvi. 7 minutes to go in this period. Jordan Eberle with a wrist shot, and that gets deflected up into the netting.
Good stick right there by Ryan Suter the last second to deflect that shot attempt from Eberle with bodies going to the net. And we talked about Nicholas Backstrom and the terrific numbers that he's had against the Edmonton Oilers throughout his career, especially on home ice, 17-0. And Kevin, you and I talked to him a couple of years ago about the fact that he plays so well against Edmonton. He doesn't really approach it any other way that he does any other games. And he feels that the games have been a lot tighter than what people, perceive them to be. And has a lot of respect for the Edmonton Oilers, down 2-0 in this one early on 2 quick goals in this first period.
Every win for Minnesota this year has been a 2-goal margin, 3-1, 4-2, and 5-3, but they're down by a pair right now. And their biggest game on home ice. The Oilers trying to spoil the party. The Wild can still make the playoffs. Koivu with it now. Koivu with Coyle. Suter catching up as well. Slap shot, and that is blocked by Ladislav Schmid. No big surprise there. He's blocked 114 coming into this one. Tied for 6th in the league, and he has been a top 10 guy all year. Eberle, chips it ahead for Gagne. Sharp angle shot, handled by Backstrom, and he'll hang on.
And for Ladislav Schmid this morning, Kevin had a nice conversation with him, you and I, and he was talking about, for offensive players, they have to go out there and produce, score goals, put up points. There's a lot more pressure on them. And he says, all I have to do is, endure a little bit of pain getting in front of the puck whenever I can, block shots and hit people, but it's not quite that easy. And he was saying it a little bit jokingly, but, certainly a team guy, obviously respects the offensive guys on the team, knows what his role is on the team, and plays it to a T. He's been that all year long, willing to pay the price both physically hitting people and blocking that little rubber disc that does hurt a lot.
Leads the team in blocks, and you mentioned hits. Came in with 148 on the season. Abby Bullen waits for that puck to get to the trapezoid. Torrey Mitchell goes down. Horkoff gets the puck to Potter. Potter up for Yakupov. He had Stoner right in his face. Nail Yakupov retreats. He's got Brodziak on him. Hall at center. Hall chips it in. Stoner will go back it to get it. Horkoff on him along with Yakupov. The puck sits there for Horkoff. Sean Horkoff lays it back to the point. Jeff Petrie throws it through traffic. Hall looking for the rebound. Stoner clears it away. Torrey Mitchell just wants to get it out. He'll get it to Brodziak, and Brodziak pushes it ahead to Pierre-Marc Bouchard. End of the shift for them. 11 shots for the Wild, 4 for the Oilers, but the Oilers have scored on 50% of those shots. Corey Potter and Taylor Hall.
Take more.
Here comes Ryan Jones off his skate, and back the other way comes Devin Setaguchi. Setaguchi. He has the puck stripped away from him by Sean Horkoff. Or that is Eric Belanger with it now. Belanger, he'll play it back to Petrie. Petrie averaging almost 22 minutes a game for the Edmonton Oilers this year. Ryan Jones on the near side, left it there, and it's picked up by Jared Spurgeon. He'll play it around the boards. Waiting for it is Ryan Suter. And Suter flips it, and that one goes out of play. 2-0 for the Oilers. TELUS Oilers hockey from the XL Energy Center in St. Paul, Minnesota.
It's time now to play the TELUS Fan Right, Fan Wrong trivia game. The future is friendly. Tonight's question, which player led the Oilers with 7 game-winning goals last season? Was it Ryan Smith, Jordan Eberle, Taylor Hall, or Ben Eager? Enter for your chance to win an Optic TV and Samsung prize package valued at $13,000 or a 32-inch Samsung HD TV. All you have to do is text Oilers to 333-777 or visit TELUS.com/hockey. For every completed entry, TELUS will donate $1 to Heroes Hockey, helping at-risk youth play Canada's game.
Justin Schultz and Nick Schultz are back together again. Smithson wins that draw to Nick. Here's Justin's shot, and that one whistles wide. Mark Fistrick not on the bench. We'll keep an eye on that situation. But for now, Nick and Justin back together again. Zenon Konopka backhands it in. Picked up there by Nick Schultz. He'll give it to Justin. Get it right back again. 4 minutes, 15 seconds to go in this first period. Mike Brown, 2 seconds in, dropped the gloves with Zenon Konopka. And Louis, that seemed to spark the team. They come up with 2 goals.
Especially that shift right after, Kevin. Just a terrific shift to get a puck in deep, cycle it around, had a couple good chances in front, and then eventually score the goal. Big hit there by Mike Rupp on Justin Schultz as he just rode him out. Schultz didn't like it too much, has a little conversation with the referee. I have to agree with him as he rode him off into the boards.
Ryan Suter just chopped the stick out of the hand of Magnus Bjarby. Bjarby has to go to the bench and get another one. Eberle brings it back in, offside.
So hard to hit the skilled players of the game, and for Justin Schultz, he's been really elusive this year, has taken a couple of hits, but obviously has his head up right there. He watches the pass up the ice a lot later on. Mike Rupp comes through and just kind of drives them all the way into the board. So you tell me. I'm not sure. I don't think you're allowed to kind of wrap an arm that high around the body and put him into the boards, but Rupp gets away with it. He's a big physical guy. He's looking to hit bodies every time he's on the ice. And for Schultz was no worse for wear afterward. Just kind of looked around like, wait a second, I thought I passed the puck a while ago. Keep your head up when he's on the ice.
Ladislav Schmid had a few words for Rupp as Rupp went to the bench. Schmid on the ice now with Corey Potter, and he flips it high. Going after it is Yakupov, but it is cut off by Zach Parise. Coyle just inside the blue line gets stopped. Jonas Brodin back into his own zone. Stripped to the puck there by Yakupov. Gets it back again. Hallmaid got away with one as he chopped Suter's stick in half. Parise with it now. He'll play it off the glass and get it out. Hall stripped, but there to pick it up is Horcoff. Corey Potter with it now. Potter. Parise lost an edge. He almost had an opportunity. As Potter kind of whipped on that pass going back to Schmid, and then it was off the skate of Hall and into the Oilers bench.
Well, no question, a lot on the line here for the Minnesota Wild. A little bit eager to get things going here, and for Ryan Suter's been a physical presence again. He tries to whack Taylor Hall's stick and breaks his own. And as a result, Hall has a little bit more room to work with, find that blue line pass wide diagonally. And for Suter, we talked about how much he logs an ice time out there a lot for the top line of Edmonton. They're going to see him every time they touch the ice.
That 32 minutes and 17 seconds he played against LA, the third highest of his career. Pierre-Marc Bouchard through traffic. Belanger had tied up Brodziak in front. Mitchell lays it behind the net. Pierre-Marc Bouchard gets it back to Kyle Brodziak. Brodziak to Bouchard. Bouchard checked by Petrie. It's Petrie and Nick Schultz right now. And that puck ends up getting chopped up and into the netting and out of play. Nick Schultz, Louis, 743 games in a Wild uniform.
Yeah, the most of any player in the history of the franchise. So obviously comfortable in this building and played here for parts of 10 years. And, you know, always likes to come back to Minnesota, but obviously wants to beat his old mates tonight. Make it a tough time for them to get into the playoffs, or tougher. They're in right now with Columbus right behind them, 1 point in 9th spot. Important points down the stretch here going to the last games as we expected it to this year with so many teams in the running.
Columbus will play at home against Nashville tomorrow. Minnesota will travel to Colorado. Detroit in 7th. They'll be in Dallas on Saturday. Cullen still has it, a wrist shot, and he rises it over top of the net. Ryan Smith picks it up on the far side, centers for Brown. Mike Brown gets backtracked there by Devin Seneguchi. The Oilers making a change. Here comes Seneguchi. Cullen wants the puck. Cullen in by himself. Backhand. 5-hole denied by Happy Boolin.
Well, Matt Cullen has had a terrific year this year against the Oilers in the matchups that they've played against each other. A little bit snake-bitten as of late. 2 excellent chances. One a stop by Happy Boolin on the breakaway. The first opportunity just missed a little wide.
Here is Potter. Another chance and another goal for Corey Potter. His second goal of the game, and it's 3-0.
Oh, wow. And then we're going to see Josh Harding here step in for Backstrom. So the 17 games in a row that Nicholas Backstrom has won against the Edmonton Oilers at Xcel Energy Center here on home ice might come to an end here as Corey Potter with his second goal of the game, as he drills it high over top of the shoulder, just picks up a loose puck. Great work here by Eberle to kind of wait by his time, find Potter right in the slot with a timing pass, and he drills it home on only the 5th shot by Edmonton, the 3rd goal.
Josh Harding's last appearance was February the 7th against Vancouver. He is a Masterton nominee. His battle with multiple sclerosis kept him out of the lineup. He had a 2-game conditioning stint in Houston. He just got back. He was 1-1. Gave up 5 goals on 61 shots. He is on in relief of Nick Backstrom, who has given up 3 goals to the Oilers on 5 shots. And now the Oilers have gotten rid of one nemesis Parise's shot and a glove save by Javi Bulin. 17 straight victories here at the XL Energy Center for Nick Backstrom against the Edmonton Oilers. Yakupov goes cross ice. Slap pass from Petrie intended for the captain, didn't work, and back the other way comes Parise. Here's Tom Gilbert, a slap shot handled by Javi Bulin, and he'll make the save.
Another solid save by Javi Bulin. Already 15 shots on net in this first period. First chance by Cullen. Challenges him out aggressively. He misses the net right away. Gets another opportunity. Tries to go to the backhand and slip this one 5-hole. Good stick positioning there by Javi Bulin. And then the play comes down the other way. Nice pass by Eberle out to Corey Potter, and he drills it upstairs for a 3-0 lead. So you have to have good defense to lead the offense. And they had it in the form of some nice stops by Nikolai Javi-Bulin.
Jordan Eberle and Sam Gagne get the helpers on that goal. At 18:38, the Oilers being outshot 15-5, but they lead 3-0. Ryan Suter trying to keep it in, can't do it. Jonas Brodin will go back and touch it up, and that's going to be icing.
And it's one of those periods.
Well, we have another winner in our score and win contest. Thanks to the Oilers' third goal of the night, Shelley Lees of Edmonton. Swipe your free club card, behalf of Safeway. You have won a Lagostina 11-piece cookware set. Congratulations, Shelley, on the second goal of the night by that guy, Corey Potter. The Minnesota Wild shocked right now. They have not lost to the Edmonton Oilers since November 25th, 2011 in this building. They are 19-1 the last 20 contests here in St. Paul. But a different story tonight. Javi Bulin again kicks that one aside. We've got 2 seconds to go in the period. And what a road period for the Edmonton Oilers and Corey Potter. And the XL Energy fans, Darren, booing their team off the ice. Pressure's on. Playoffs on the line.
Well, energy comes in various forms. An incredible development tonight in St. Paul, where Nick Backstrom has not only beat the Edmonton Oilers 17 straight times at home, only twice has he allowed more than 2 goals during that stretch. 3 in the first period tonight, 1 to Taylor Hall. We explore what's going wrong for the Minnesota Wild on Oilers Hockey and Sports Night.
A lot to celebrate for Corey Potter and the rest of the Edmonton Oilers as they find themselves in good position through one period of play. The Edmonton Oilers, meanwhile, in St. Albans, are teaming up to bring residents of Cold Lake and surrounding areas a free hockey clinic over the weekend of May 24 to 26. Interested players between the ages of 9 and 13 can register now until May 1st, and 100 lucky participants will be chosen at random to attend. A free community barbecue open to all residents will be held on Friday, May 24th. That'll include free food, some fun, and the presence of current and former Edmonton Oilers players on site to meet and mingle with guests. For more information on what should be a fantastic weekend, register now or just visit EdmontonOilers.com.
All right, Gene, thank you. Let's take a look at the scoring summary brought to you by Worley Parsons Cord. Now hiring trades in oil country. Visit WorleyParsons.com/careers and apply today.
Well, the Minnesota Wild outshoot the Edmonton Oilers 15-5, but find themselves down 3-0 after that first period. 2 goals by Corey Potter and 1 by Taylor Hall. So a real solid first period for Corey Potter, who gets a couple opportunities and makes good with his second and third goals of the year.
And that third goal chased Nicholas Backstrom. Josh Harding comes on in relief, played a minute 22 in that first period, did not face a shot. And it was the third line for the Oilers that started the game. They start this period. But a little calmer start, Louis, to the second period than the first.
Yeah, 2 seconds in, Konopka and Brown went at it toe-to-toe in a lengthy battle that seemed to set the tone in that first period as Edmonton quickly scored a goal after that to go up 1-0.
Josh Harding is 2-5-1 in his career against the Edmonton Oilers. Nikolai Habibulin 6-13-5 lifetime against Minnesota.
Yeah, and Habibulin had a great first 20 minutes as he was up to the task. 15 shots, a couple point blankers, and 3 good power play opportunities by Minnesota in the only power play that we saw in that first 20. So for Habibulin, obviously for Ralph Kruger, had a gut feeling to put him in here tonight. And he's been up to the task so far, no question about that. He's dialed in.
Suter, quick shot, and there's a quick save by Habibulin. Devin Dubnyk will start the season finale tomorrow in Vancouver. 8 sets of back-to-backs for the Edmonton Oilers this year. They are 3-4 in the first half of the back-to-backs.
Yeah, and for the Big Easy, obviously been asked by Canada to represent them in the World Championship, so a little rest for him before he plays tomorrow versus Vancouver. And he's played a lot this year, so for Ralph Kruger, just wanted to divvy that up down the stretch, and coach has got to go with his gut. It's been pretty good so far.
Faced a ton of shots this year. 7th in shots faced, 7th in saves, and a top 15 guy is Devin Dubnyk when it comes to save percentage. Minnesota Wild with a better start to this period. Jordan Eberle pinned there by Parise as he sends it around to the near side. Picked up by Jeff Petrie, tries to get it out to center and does. Magnus Bjarvi squeezed off there by Charlie Coyle, and here come the Wild right back in. Parise and Koivu stopped up. Suter will flip it in as both teams want to make a change. And Jeff Petrie, long pass for Taylor Hall. Got the second goal of the first period at 8:02. Taylor Hall is, Louis mentioned, a point-per-game player. The first time since Doug Waite that has happened for the Oilers. Kyle Brodziak gets spun around there. Able to keep the puck in. Mitchell leaves it there for Brodziak. Brodziak behind the net, battling with Shot Horkoffs. Now he'll play it back to the point. Jared Spurgeon. Pierre-Marc Bouchard. Bouchard circles the net, being watched by Nick Schultz. Bouchard gives it to Spurgeon. Spurgeon into the corner. Brodziak sees it go by him. Justin Schultz plays it around for Yakupov. He can't get it out. Torrey Mitchell is there. Justin Falk trying to keep it in. Can't do it against Yakupov. Nail Yakupov moving in by himself. Weak shot, and that is steered aside by Josh Harding. Quickly up the wing. It comes to Cal Clutterbuck. Schmid on him. Clutterbuck. His shot goes behind the net and all the way down the ice. Anton Lander gives chase. Harding out to try and play it. Setaguchi back to the point. Potter is there. That shot is blocked by Clayton Stoner. Stoner to Setaguchi. Setaguchi at center to Clutterbuck. Cal Clutterbuck flips it in. Setaguchi will give chase. Ladislav Schmid will get to it first. Schmid. Lander. Right back to Jones. The pass to Jones. He didn't see it. Setaguchi did. Here is Stoner with a shot. And Habibulin stays calm and makes the save.
Pro Hockey Life, the ultimate hockey megastore.
Time to play Safeway's $1 million score and win. If any Oilers player scores 5 goals in tonight's game, Cesar Guayeno of Edmonton could win $1 million. Shop and swipe at Safeway, and you could be our next lucky winner right here on Sportsnet West.
And Louis Cesar is a huge fan right now of Corey Potter.
Yeah, no question. Keep that pace alive, he said.
Konopka wins the draw, and that's no surprise as Konopka is very good in the circle. 60% coming into this game. Number 28 on that fourth line with Michael Rupp and Jake Dowell. Rupp from the corner, behind the net for Konopka. He is checked by Justin Schultz, sends it around the boards. Mike Brown trying to get it out. He can't do it. Rupp's got it now. Rupp lays that puck in front, and it's sat there, and now Ryan Smith has got it. Smith has got Brown with him. Mike Brown moving in against Justin Falk. A shot that goes wide. Ryan Smith trying to keep it in. A bouncing puck. Justin Falk checked by Smithson as he delivers the puck to center. Jake Dowell. His shot misses the target. Comes to Spurgeon on the near side. He will keep it in. Dowell. Behind the net it goes. Konopka will pick it up. Zenon Konopka. He gets stopped by Sam Gagner, and Gagner works that puck out even though he'd lost an edge. Went down. Still battling, and here come the Oilers. Wow, what a shot! Jordan Eberle makes it a 4-0 game. Eberle's got 3 points tonight.
I'll tell you, this one just was a perfect shot for Jordan Eberle. When you look at the angle that he's on here, doesn't look like he has a whole lot, but he's got his head up. He's looking, known to be a sniper. And the whole way he's eyeballing that little spot above the shoulder, and he just says, I'm taking the chance, and fires it upstairs. And that one hit iron. Crossbar down and in from a very sharp angle, but a perfectly placed shot by Jordan Eberle. 4-0 Edmonton. And have they been opportunistic in their chances that they've had?
Jordan Eberle with his 14th goal of the season. He had 4 points in his last 4 games. He's got 3 points now. And Ryan Smith picks up the assist. Ryan Smith's got 2 points tonight. And the Oilers are shocking the Wild here at St. Paul. They've taken 7 shots, Louis, on 2 goaltenders. They've got 4 goals.
I honestly don't know what to say. It's been a game that's been heavily dominated by the Minnesota Wild. No question about it. They've been relentless on the forecheck. They've had chances in the offensive zone. They've been strong in the corners, limiting their time in the defensive zone. But every chance it seems that Edmonton gets, they put it between the pipes, and up 4-0 in the game, being outshot right now 18-7. So it tells the tale. Nikolai Habibulin's been busy and up to the task.
Well, our next score and win winner, courtesy of Safeway, is Sherry Baker of Edmonton, who's won the Universal Music CD prize pack. Congratulations, Sherry, and congratulations to Jordan Eberle. Jordan Eberle with a goal and 2 assists.
Yeah, it's incredible to me how he gets that shot away so quickly off the fly. You could see him moving his legs, but all the way in, head up, watching, and he picked his spot, and he hit it.
The Oilers scored 3 goals in that game on April the 16th. But the last time they were here, they only managed 2. Now they've got 4. Pierre-Marc Bouchard hangs onto it on the near side, being watched by Ladislav Schmid as the puck goes behind the net for Kyle Brodziak. Brodziak will give it to Tom Gilbert. He plays it out in front, and that puck slides wide. As Torrey Mitchell had a great chance. He'll get another one here. Swing and a miss for number 17. And Louis, the pressure on this Minnesota Wild team, and the Oilers come in here with nothing to lose, makes them a dangerous team, and we are seeing it right now. The Wild desperate to try and win a playoff spot at home.
You know, they've played desperate. There's no question about that. They've had a real solid game so far, and they've had the better chances. There's no doubt in my mind about that. They've come out wanting to win this game and wanting to get back into it. They haven't relented. They've been physical. They've got pucks in deep. Another dandy chance on the doorstep there for Mitchell. Just can't convert it. But they're looking at a team that's been very opportunistic. And for Edmonton, they've stayed with it when they get their chances. They're putting it in and are up 4-0.
And a good job by Potter to keep that puck in right there. Yakupov goes to hole, and he slides it just wide. And Horkoff had a chance in front. Justin Schultz puts it towards the net. That gets deflected to the corner, but look at Taylor Hall go back and get it. He'll play it to Nick Schultz. Nick Schultz fires that puck towards the net. Picked up now by Devin Setaguchi. He'll play it to the middle for Matt Cullen. Cullen thought about a wrist shot. Now, from a sharp angle, will throw it towards the net. Ends up in the near corner. Devin Setaguchi to Matt Cullen. Setaguchi through the pick. Cullen walks in. Stopped by Habibulin. Clutterbuck looking for the rebound. Garrett Spurgeon. Setaguchi with a backhand that doesn't get through. The Oilers top 10 when it comes to block shots. They came in 9th. Taylor Hall will backhand it in. He's going to go up as the Oilers make changes. 13-14 to go in this second period. The shots are 20-7. The Oilers were outshot 30-22 in that game against Chicago. They've been outshot their last 12 games, but this one, it doesn't matter. Brian Jones hit the side of the net. Eric Belanger from the corner. Eric Belanger. He had Brodin all over him. Jones being watched by Suter. Jones, Anton Lander, Eric Belanger, the forward line right now, and it's Lander with the puck. Anton Lander. It's checked by Brodin, and it's cleared out by Koivu. All the way down to Habibulin, who's directing traffic. He'll give it to Justin Schultz. Mark Fistrick back on the ice. Good news for the Oilers. As Fistrick had to leave that game, Louis, and a blocked the shot. And we talked about Ladislav Schmid and how painful it was, and he's back as we take a look at this goal.
Yeah, tough guy back on the ice. Look at this goal by Eberle. Jumps on the boards for a quick change. Hey, the puck's right there, drives his feet, gets going wide. And he had shoot in his mind the whole way as he zings it home for a 4-0 lead for Edmonton. And Jordan Eberle is one of those guys. You give him a little spot, he'll make it. Here's the chance down the other end by Mitchell. Looks like a perfect one-timer as Happy Boone has his head turned the other way. He misses wide. So for Happy Boone, he's been good and a little bit lucky so far, and has kept the Minnesota Wild off the board.
Jordan Eberle, 15th career game against the Minnesota Wild, now has 14 points. 4 goals and 10 assists. And Louis, you keep telling me your best players have to be your best players. Well, Hall and Eberle have been that, and they're getting a little support from the blue line in the form of Corey Potter. Jared Smithson looking for his first point as an Oiler. Mike Brown in front as Harding made that save. Ryan Smith, he throws it towards the net. Why not? Jeff Petrie with it now. He'll keep it in for that 4th line. Brown back to the point. Ladislav Schmid waiting for it. Ryan Smith battling in front, tried to get that puck. Smithson will. Yeah, Mark Bouchard flips it out for Mitchell. Mitchell has got Brodziak going to the front. He doesn't get the puck. Jeff Petrie does. He'll give it to Ryan Smith. Smithson winds, fakes the shot, gets it in deep. That's what you got to do.
Absolutely. A couple of good shifts in a row here for Edmonton, getting pucks in behind the defense of Minnesota, establishing that forecheck and working it down low. It hasn't been enough. Minnesota's done a great job to have that limited time spent in the defensive zone, have been in the offensive zone a lot in this game.
Sanaguchi fights his way through to get that shot on net. Happy Bullen denied him. Here's Clutterbuck. And then went off the skate of Nick Schultz right to Eberle, and he was able to clear it down the ice. Jared Spurgeon gets it to Clutterbuck. Now Clutterbuck will give it right back to Spurgeon. That pass intended for Devin Sanaguchi comes all the way down to Happy Bullen. Round the boards it goes. Magnus Bjarvi checked by Clutterbuck. Now Cullen wants a piece of that puck. He gets stopped by Sam Gagner, but it comes back to Spurgeon. The puck on end, deflected just wide. Suter from a sharp angle. Again, the Wild keeping all kinds of pressure on. Clutterbuck. He'll play it behind the net for Parise. Parise checked neatly there by Corey Potter, and it comes to Sam Gagner. Gagner wants to relieve the pressure, and he does as he flips it high and down the ice. Good draw weight. Sent right back in. Nick Schultz in a foot race there with Parise. Parise comes together with him, and then Potter gets knocked into the net by Koivu. Here is Brodin with a shot steered aside by Happy Bullen.
Wild have been relentless on the forecheck in this game so far, Kevin. All over Edmonton, chasing down loose pucks, sending multiple bodies in offensively.
Coyle will give it to Koivu. Parise in a battle with Nick Schultz. Koivu throws it towards the net through traffic, steered aside by Sean Horkoff as Hall winds up. Taylor Hall across the blue line. Hall moving in against Falk. Drop pass. Shot. Scores. Nail Yakupov on a nice feed from Taylor Hall. It's 5-0 Edmonton.
Wow, what a rush by Taylor Hall. Another good shift by Minnesota to get pucks in deep all over the Edmonton net. Taylor Hall eventually gets his puck, gets his feet moving, and drives wide. What a nifty little backhand pass here. Sorry, drop pass on the forehand to Yakupov. And you give him an opportunity for them wide open. He's going to zing it home, but Taylor Hall feet moving, head up. Takes the defender right into the corner, leaves Yakupov alone, and he zings it home. 5-0 Edmonton on 9 shots on net.
And Nail Yakupov keeping his case alive for that Calder Trophy as he's got 13 goals on the season and 27 points. And a timeout has been called. Well, by swiping a free club card, Kathy Julian of Edmonton has won a DVD prize pack from E1 courtesy of Safeway. Congratulations, Kathy, on the goal by Nail Yakupov. His second goal in 2 games.
No question, a timeout here by Mike Yeo just to try and settle the troops. And, you know, what do you say? They fired 23 shots on net to Nikolai Happy Boone. He stopped them all. Some real dandies, too. and have had a hard time keeping pucks out of their own net. But a great individual drive here by Taylor Hall to push the defense back, drops it back nicely to Yakupov in an area that he loves to shoot that puck from. You can see the whip in the stick as he gets this one away. And he beats Harding through the 5-hole for a 5-0 lead.
Came in third among rookies in goals. He is added to that total.
And as you mentioned, Kevin, 11 points now in the last 13 games for Nail Yakupov. So finishing on a real positive note, and he's gotten better each and every game. And a little lineup change here, combination with Horkoff at center, Yakupov on the right-hand side, and Hall on the left for Ralph Kruger. So two guys that love to skate and shoot the puck, and a guy that's sound at both ends of the ice.
Eric Belanger, Brian Jones, and Anton Lander out there now. The third line for the Edmonton Oilers, trying to follow up and get in on this party. Belanger's shot goes high. Pierre-Marc Bouchard on the far side. Closing in, 9 minutes left in this second period. 23 shots for the Minnesota Wild, 10 for the Oilers. They have scored on half of them. Smithson, Brown, and Smith out there now. Kanapka gets knocked down by Fistrick. Ryan Smith will pick up the puck. He'll give it to Justin Schultz round the boards, looking for Brown. Brown chops that puck out. Jonas Brodin in his own zone. Brodin, a first-round pick in 2011, went 10th overall. Has the puck now. He will fire it around the boards. Waiting for it, Justin Schultz. Schultz keeps it in the corner. Smiths it in there to help out. It comes to Mike Brown. Brown wants to try and get it out, and he does get it out, as Suter couldn't keep it in. Brodin will just fire it right back in. The Oilers will play this game all day.
Yeah, so important, those battles along the wall, Kevin. You saw Mike Brown there twice. That puck came around to him, and both times he was able to get it out. The defense of Minnesota have been very aggressive on that offensive blue line, holding their course and trying to keep pucks alive, and they've done it very well. But a couple times there you see a good job on the wall by Brown to get it out.
Setaguchi to Cullen over his stick. Cullen with it again. Cullen, drop pass for Jared Spurgeon. Spurgeon behind the net, centering pass for Setaguchi. Pushed that one just wide. All kinds of chaos in front of Nikolai Habibulin. Cullen. Backhand. Clutterbuck stopped by Habibulin, and there's Everly to send it down the ice. Louis, it takes energy, and you start to get frustrated if you're the Minnesota Wild. You've fired 25 shots on net, and you're down by 5.
They're past that point already, and obviously the timeout by Mike Yeo there to kind of settle them down, and I imagine say keep going in the course you're going, because they've done a lot of good things in this game. They've got pucks in deep. They've been really active around the net, and at least 10 real good chances just around the blue paint to get one by Habibulin. They just can't beat him. He's been real good so far.
Petrie to Horkoff. Horkoff to Yakupov. Yakupov checked by Koivu. Parise trying to chip it by Petrie, and Petrie runs it into the boards.
Good stand up there by Petrie for Parise. Loves to keep those feet moving. Is so effective at driving through guys, and Petrie doesn't watch the puck, just puts the shoulder right into the chest.
Koivu looking for Parise in front. Look at Jared Spurgeon activated. Down low, the Oilers trying to take advantage of that. Opportunity for Coyle. What a save by Habibulin, as he absolutely robs Charlie Coyle. Gilbert with a shot, and that one goes wide. Stoner keeps it in for Parise. Now Koivu sees it go by him, and it's picked up. Sent to the point, and a good job by Hall to get it out. He's got Yakupov with him. Taylor Hall moving in. Taylor Hall for Yakupov. He scores! Nail Yakupov! He and Taylor Hall combine to make it 6-0 for Edmonton.
What a terrific goal by Yakupov, and what a great save by Habibulin to set this whole thing up. As we mentioned, point-blank chances by Minnesota. Charlie Coyle gets this one away with good steam on. Look at the reaction of Habibulin, follows it the whole way, stops the second one, then a good little job here by Hall to out-battle the defender on the blue line 2-on-1, and he just threads it over. What a great job by Yakupov at the last second just to get that paddle in there and redirect this one high over top of the blocker of Harding for a 6-0 lead. Yakupov's second goal of the game in succession. Just breaking out tonight.
6 goals on 11 shots for the Edmonton Oilers. And Nail Yakupov gets his second straight goal, second straight assist for Taylor Hall. Yakupov with 14 goals on the season and 28 points.
Yeah, so it ties him for the lead in rookie goals and points in the National Hockey League. So what a night for Nail Yakupov.
And the Bronx cheer for Josh Harding as he makes a save. The Oilers with a 6-0 lead. We'll be back after this. Nail Yakupov has got himself back in the conversation. And this is why, Louis. 6 goals on 12 shots. Goals 5 and 6 belong to Nail Yakupov.
You know, no question. When you look at how he's climbed up the charts, has had a terrific month of April. And has really picked it up a notch. Has a real nice little chemistry going tonight with Taylor Hall as they've been all over the ice, the chances that they've had. And for Yakupov, opportunistic. And has that goal scorer's touch when he's around the net. Loves to get that quick shot away. And you saw him score that second one there. The diving one-handed chip on the backhand up over top of the shoulder. He's playing with a lot of confidence right now. A lot of energy. And has 2 goals to tie for the goal lead amongst rookies.
And then Tanaka's shot rises over top of the net. It's picked up there by Mike Brown. He'll bounce it off the glass and get it out. Mike Yeo has done everything he can do. He pulled Nick Backstrom. Gave up 3 goals on 5 shots. His replacement, Josh Harding, has also given up 3 goals. And in fairness to Josh Harding, I mean, he hasn't played since February the 7th, a 2-game conditioning stint in Houston. And he's facing a wave now. Here come the Oilers again. Gagne's shot, and that one stopped by Harding. And again, the Bronx cheers come up for the sellout crowd here at the XL Energy Center.
That was a dandy chance for Gagne, too. Had a lot of time to look to see where he wanted to shoot that one. Good blocker save by Harding on a point blanker.
Back to the point, Ladislav Schmid. For Gagne. Gagne's got Eberle out in front, along with Magnus Bjarvi. Walks out himself. He tries to feed it in front. Sticks were there. Ryan Suter and Cal Clutterbuck.
That was Corey Potter that was sneaking back door there. Already has 2 goals on the night, and nobody saw him sneaking in behind the play, and Gagne tried to thread it through to him and almost got there, but a good defensive play to keep it away.
Eberle did that on that second goal for Potter. Gagne with the puck again. Gagne with a shot. The rebound comes loose, and it's picked up now by Zach Parise. Parise with some steam across the blue line. Parise takes a look. He'll throw it towards the net. Gets deflected away by Nick Schultz. Parise can't find it. Nick Schultz can. Schultz will start the rush as the Wild make a change. He gets to center, flips it into the opposite corner. Yakupov going after it. Nail Yakupov. Does he have the natural Hattie in him? Coyle.
Wouldn't surprise me with this kid, the way he's playing right now. Loves to score. And it seems like he gets hungrier every game to kind of create those opportunities, skate with a puck, and has 2 already in the last 2 goals that Edmonton scored.
A penalty coming up to the Oilers. It's going to be the second power play of this game, and it's going to be the second power play for the Minnesota Wild. We'll be back. The Oilers on the penalty kill right after this. What is amazing is the fact that the Oilers have chased their nemesis, Nick Backstrom. Josh Harding in relief. Backstrom, 3 goals, 5 shots. He came in with a 17-game winning streak here at the XL Energy Center against the Edmonton Oilers. And now, the Wild on their second power play. Jeff Petry's in the box for holding. Minnesota generated 3 shots. Well, they had the power play in the first period. Ladislav Schmid, along with Jared Smithson, Nick Schultz, and Ryan Smith as it comes to Koivu. Koivu will go across to Suter. Suter plays it in front, and there is Smithson to pick it up and send it down the ice. The Wild with just 1 power play goal in their last 5 games. And Louis, a team that wants and desperately needs to try and make the playoffs. There are some things to tighten up, and you wonder what this kind of game can have tomorrow in Colorado.
Yeah, no question about it. And obviously they came into this game wanting to win tonight and seal the deal, clinch their playoff berth with the Columbus Blue Jackets playing tomorrow night versus the Nashville Predators. I mean, so much at stake.
Going to come down to the final day of the regular season for both these teams, the Columbus Blue Jackets and the Minnesota Wild. And the Oilers did not want to see a team celebrate again against them. Nikolai Habibulin shutting the door all game, and he shuts it right there.
A good read by him, too, and a good battle to prevent Kyle Brodziak from getting all the way to the net here. For the Minnesota Wild, their second power play of the game. They generate some good chances in the first one, move the puck around well, and here Parise just fans on this attempt to get it out into the slot. Good box out there by Justin Schultz, who's starting to play a little more physical in front of the net. And that puck is loose, and Habibulin wisely covers it up.
28 shots fired the way of Nikolai Habibulin. 38 seconds to go in the penalty to Jeff Petrie. Cullen wins the draw. Modine can't keep it in. And a good job there by Jared Smithson to work that puck out. Chase Tom Gilbert back into his own zone. Gilbert, 384 games in an Oiler uniform. Traded for a guy that played 743 games in a Wild uniform in Nick Schultz. A buck and a half left to go in this second period. Brodin will give it to Cullen. Matt Cullen sweeps it towards the front of the net. Gilbert keeps it in. Now Ladislav Schmid's got time. And Jeff Petrie's back on the ice and has the puck. He'll give it to Potter. Potter and Yakupov each with a pair of goals. Corey Potter behind the net. No shots for the Wild on that power play. A power play that has scored just 11 times here at home. Less than a minute to go in the period. The fans here at the XL Energy Center came to party, and they have been hugely disappointed by what they have seen so far. Magnus Pjarvi fires it wide. Jeff Petrie throws it towards the net. That was blocked by Mitchell, but it comes to Eberle. Looking for Gagne. Sam Gagne near side. Magnus Pjarvi with it now. Pjarvi turns in a battle with Devin Setaguchi for the loose puck as time winds down in this period. Eberle gets it loose for Gagne. Gagne with a wrist shot, and that was deflected wide. Tom Gilbert got a piece of it. Torrey Mitchell will backhand it down the ice. He's had a couple of good chances in this period. Justin Schultz takes a look. Both teams make a change. 6 goals, 14 shots for the Edmonton Oilers as they try and win their 10th game on the road. And the fans here, Louis, are not happy at all.
Absolutely not. You know, when you look at 28-14, the Minnesota Wild are out shooting Edmonton after 2 periods, down 6-0. And for the Edmonton Oilers, flying high right now, defending. And then when they get the opportunity to get in on the offense, they've been coming in and scoring goals. So one of those games, and the fans here not too happy.
When we come back, the guys in the panel are going to tell you who is going to win the Stanley Cup other than Pittsburgh and Chicago. Tell us, Oilers hockey, and it's right here on Sportsnet.
Well, it's been an exciting night on the part of Nail Yakupov and the rest of the Edmonton Oilers. It is our last broadcast of the season, and appropriately I'm in an area that surmises that the Edmonton Oilers this season with us have had an open door policy, despite the fact it has been a difficult season. The Edmonton Oilers, when you start with the players, the coach and coaches on the staff, as well as the general manager, have been very accessible for us to spend time with them, whether it be the former GM or the current GM, Craig McTavish. Ralph Kruger, despite all the difficult instances behind his bench in regards to his rookie season, has been really a treat to deal with. And not only is it the organization that we see on a day-to-day basis, but those that are in the office and those that do a lot of behind-the-scenes work. The sponsors, we thank you as well, and the fans. You may not like everything you see on the ice or everything you see on TV for that matter, but it shows me that you care and that you're passionate. And we also, well, that applies to these two guys. It's always a treat to spend much of the winter with them. Louis and Kevin, take it away for the final period of our broadcast season on Sportsnet.
All right, Gene, we echo that sentiments as we take a look at our scoring summary brought to you by Warney Parsons Court. Now hiring trades in oil country. Visit warneyparsons.com/careers and apply today.
All the scoring done by Edmonton. This one, 3 goals in the first period, 2 by Potter, 1 by Hall in the second period. It's Jordan Eberle with his 14th, and Nail Yakupov with back-to-back goals, 13th and 14th on the year. And carry a 6-0 lead into this third period.
The Edmonton Oilers had won just one game in their last 20 visits to the XL Energy Center. You have to go back to 2011. November 25th, they won that game by the score of 5-2. They've got a 6-0 lead here, and the third period is underway. And once again, Louis, the fourth line will start a period.
A little tricky one there. The first one, a little redirection by Smithson into the zone. One hops on Josh Harding, and he has a difficult time deflecting that one into the corner. But yeah, the energy line out there for Edmonton. It was Mike Brown right out of the gates 2 seconds into this game. Had a good fight with Zenon Konopka. And the Oilers started to score after that. It seemed like every opportunity. They got 3 goals in the first 5 shots in the game. And then 7 shots in the second period. They scored 3 more. So get some more shots to the net. I'm sure they're preaching to each other in the dressing room because they seem to have the hot ticket tonight.
Petrie shot into the glove of Josh Harding. And again, the fans with a mocking cheer of the Minnesota goaltenders on this night.
Yeah, it just hasn't been their night when you look at it. You know, when you give up that many goals and that fewer shots for both goaltenders. Nicholas Backstrom first to his pole. Josh Harding steps in and doesn't fare a whole lot better in the second period. But for him, just trying to dial things in here in this third period. I'm sure Backstrom will get the start tomorrow night in Colorado in a very important game for the Minnesota Wild, where the Columbus Blue Jackets playing the Nashville Predators.
And the Columbus Blue Jackets are at home for that game. Detroit is in Dallas. Detroit with 54 points. Columbus and Minnesota both with 53. Minnesota holds the tiebreaker, or everything ends up even. With the regulation and overtime wins, they have more than Columbus. They'll get the spot.
And obviously, you know, coming into this third period down 6-0 for Mike Yeo, I'm sure telling the guys to try and carry forward, have a solid 20 minutes, carry that over into the game tomorrow night in Colorado, and not create some negative habits that could trickle into their game tomorrow night.
And the Oilers want to do the same, take this momentum into their final game at home against the Vancouver Canucks. Garrett Spurgeon's shot is blocked by Sean Horkoff. It comes to Jeff Petrie, plays it off the glass. Spurgeon again, another shot that doesn't make it through. Charlie Coyle, his shot blocked, gets another opportunity, and that one whistles wide. Justin Falk with a shot, and that gets deflected by Coyle wide. He tries to bank it in on a sharp angle, and it comes all the way down the ice.
Good job by Coyle to get a stick on that shot that came through a lot of bodies towards the net, redirects it wide, and then wisely just tries to fire it off the back of Habby Bulin. And he eventually gets out of the zone on that shot attempt.
21-year-old is playing the Oilers just the 3rd time in his career. He has 3 points coming in and some good chances in that second period.
They really like his size. You know, for Coyle came over in that trade for Brent Burns from the San Jose Sharks, former first rounder of the Sharks, and he's that big customer that works a puck down low very well and has that presence of mind to go to the net, and playing on that top line with Parise and Koivu, he's fit in very nicely in his first year of pro hockey.
Louis add an assist for Sam Gagner on the goal by Jordan Eberle, 4:09 into the second period, so he's got a 2-point night going. Eberle with 3 points, and Taylor Hall with 3 points. Corey Potter's got a pair of goals.
Cheers for the home team from the home team. Home Hardware, homeowners helping homeowners with expert advice.
Well, as you mentioned it, Kevin, just some high-end young talent here in Edmonton. When you look at the numbers and the age of these young players that Edmonton possesses, obviously the future is bright. And, you know, as we talked a little bit about in the beginning of the game and in our opening show about what they're going to have to do moving forward, Craig McTavish, the new general manager, you know, looking to add some support cast to these young players and the nucleus of this team moving forward. So, but definitely some talent there. There's no question about that.
Ales Hemsky on that list. He's playing with a fractured foot. Louis, you and I did the game in Detroit when Jakob Kindl let it go. And it hit the foot of Ales Hemsky and put him on the sideline. That was a bullet.
Well, amazingly so, too, for Hemsky. Played through that broken foot for a while, too, and then tried to endure that pain, but no question about it. For Ralph Kruger, you know, it was one of those situations where they felt it was time to shut him down and not allow him to play through that, and tough to play with that pain. One more shot in that spot could make it a lot worse. I'm sure that if this team was in the playoff hunt right now, we'd see number 83 in the lineup, though. That was still when the team was within reach of trying to get in there, and Hemsky tried to play through that pain. And that's not easy to do.
Leonard Petrell is also on the sideline with a high ankle sprain. Jake Dowell with a shot right into the glove of Khabibulin.
And for Nikolai Khabibulin stepping in here tonight, for Ralph Kruger, felt he had that look in his eye and was ready to go. And the consummate professional. You look over the career of Khabibulin, the way that he's played, the big games that he's played, won a Stanley Cup with the Tampa Bay Lightning. And you could just tell right from the get-go, he understood the importance of this game for the Minnesota Wild and for the Edmonton Oilers, trying to prevent them from having an easy road to the playoffs, and he's been dialed in right from the start.
His last start was April the 22nd against the Anaheim Ducks. That was his third straight loss. He gave up 3 goals on 28 shots, but as Louis mentioned, he is dialed in tonight. He has faced 29 wild shots, and he has gotten plenty of run support. Eberle flips it in. Gagne will be first on it. Sam Gagne knocked down by Jonas Brodin. Koivu pushes that puck ahead, and that one ends up going out of play.
On the other end of things, you look at the Minnesota Wild in the season they've had, and sitting right now in 8th spot. Ryan Suter's been, just really terrific in his first year with the Wild after signing a big contract this off-season. And you look at the minutes that he's played. We talked about 5 times in the last 9 games he's been over 30 minutes. And he's one of those guys that seems to play those minutes effortlessly. Plays a physical brand of hockey, so those aren't easy minutes. And always going up against the top performers of the opposition. One of the best in the game.
Mitchell giving a bump as he sends it behind the net. Horkoff did the hitting. Eberle gets spun around. Now that is Potter's stick that goes flying. Justin Schultz sends it around the boards. Taylor Hall racing over against Tom Gilbert. Gets it by him, and now a foot race. And a good defensive play there by Clayton Stoner to get over and check Taylor Hall. Justin Schultz cruises back. He's going to have time because the Minnesota Wild are making changes. 15:20 to go here in the third period. 29-15 the shots on goal. The shots were closer in that second period. 10-9 in favor of the Wild. But the Oilers have done all the scoring. 3 goals in the first, 3 goals in the second.
Vote now for Oiler young guns Taylor Hall and Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, who are in the running to be on the cover of the upcoming EA Sports NHL 14. Voting is unlimited, and the more you vote, the better your odds of winning a trip to the 2013 Stanley Cup Final will be. Make your vote count by visiting covervote.nhl.com today.
All Eberle and Dubik going to board a plane over to the World Championships. Jeff Petrie also heading over. The Team USA is going to be headquartered in Helsinki. Team Canada, their headquarters will be in Stockholm, as both sites will share the World Championships. Cal Clutterbuck stopped by Khabibulin. Cullen, his wrist shot again. Khabibulin rises up to make that save. Falk keeps it in. Pass intercepted by Eric Belanger. Belanger being tracked down there by Clutterbuck. Given a bump. Potter in there to help out, and that allows Belanger to get the puck. But Cullen swoops in and takes possession. Cullen centering pass for Falk with a shot stopped by Khabibulin. Falk will get it again. Back to the point. Cullen shot again. Khabibulin, this time a blocker save. Well, we call Devin Dubnyk the Big Easy. How about Khabibulin? What's the Russian term for Big Easy?
I'm not sure. I think he's living up to his nickname, the Bulin Wall, right now, because nothing's getting by him. That was a good opportunity by Falk to slip down there and get that opportunity in the slot. And as we mentioned, for Khabibulin, he just seems to be seeing the puck very well through all that traffic. He's picking it up, making that first save, not allowing a whole lot to drop down in front of him.
Zenon Konopka looking for Jake Dowell. A bouncing puck gets by him. Nick Schultz takes Konopka into the boards. They battle for the puck behind the net. Nick Schultz comes away with it. Nick Schultz plays it along the boards, kept in by Suter at the point. Rupp turns, it's in his feet. Nick Schultz is there, and he's got possession.
You got to admit, that's one of the best nicknames in the game.
Oh, yeah.
The Bulin Wall.
Were you always...
He's earned it.
Were you always Lou Dog?
Lou Dog.
Eberle. Ebbs. Fires it wide. Coyle back the other way. Charlie Coyle moving in with Zach Parise. Jeff Petrie is there behind the net. Justin Schultz giving a bump. Koivu. Backhand. And that one deflected wide. Jeff Petrie got his stick in the way. Stoner will give it to Coyle off his skate. Eberle looking to pick it up, but Coyle recovers, and he comes in with Koivu. Charlie Coyle stops up, throws it towards the net, steered aside by Habibulin. 31 shots for the Minnesota Wild.
Give the Wild credit. They've been persistent. They have not relented. Down 6-0 coming into this third period. They've come out. They've done exactly what they've done in the previous two, and they've been all around Habibulin. They had a couple good chances so far in this third.
Sam Gagner, a couple of points on the night for him. Sam Gagner with 37 points came into this game without a helper in his last 7. Well, he's got a pair tonight. And he likes to play on the road. 14 goals for Sam Gagner. 9 of them have been away from Rexall Place. Potter goes down, puck in the corner. Kyle Brodziak has got Pierre-Marc Bouchard in front, and he runs into the net instead. And Hall says, thank you very much. He'll give it to Horkoff right up the middle. Dishes to Yakupov. Yakupov trying to get the return feed to Horkoff. He was tied up by Spurgeon. Back the other way we go. Pierre-Marc Bouchard across the blue line. Bouchard, a drop pass looking for Mitchell. That was broken up, and the captain's got it.
Good backtracking there by Nail Yakupov. After that pass, the attempt missed in the offensive zone. He gets back in a hurry and is able to break up that play in the defensive zone.
Hall and Yakupov, Louis, a dynamic combination and a tough one for defenders because you don't know. Those guys are not straight line players unless you're Taylor Hall gaining the zone, but then Yakupov can go anywhere.
They're both shooters.
Belanger, speaking of shooters, leaks the net, tries to get that wraparound. Nick Schultz keeps it in. It is Jones with Anton Lander and Eric Belanger. Justin Schultz with that wrist shot, and Belanger may have got a piece of that one and tipped it wide. 11 minutes, 11 seconds to go in the third period. Devin Setaguchi lays it around the near side. Anton Lander waiting for it. Turned 22 on Wednesday, and he gets absolutely hammered by Cullen and Clutterbuck. Ryan Jones moving in against Brodin. Jones falls. Belanger carries on against Setaguchi. Nice centering pass. And the shot by Brown is stopped by Harding, and he'll hang on. It's Telus Oilers hockey from the XL Energy Center here in St. Paul, Minnesota.
The first round of the NBA playoffs are underway, and later tonight we have game number 3 between Denver and Golden State. The high-scoring series is tied at a game apiece. We'd like to take this opportunity to thank all the fans that entered this year's Safeway $1 million score and win promotion here on Sportsnet. Congratulations to all those people who've won fabulous Safeway score and win prizes each time the Oilers have scored. Keep watching Sportsnet for more great Safeway promotions, and you could be our next lucky winner.
We had 6 winners tonight, and we've got 10 minutes and 44 seconds left to go in this hockey game as Jeff Petrie turns it over. There is Jake Dowell, and he is knocked down by Ladislav Schmid, the hit leader on this team. Michael Rupp trying to power his way through. Rupp turns, still has it. Now he'll fire it towards the net. Chaos in front. And Habibulin somehow, through that mass of green and white, finds the puck.
This is a replica of the remote that inspired the big win. The original was tragically lost in a couch.
Get your game on with Pools.
Well, Louis and Kevin, you were asking what the Big Easy would be in Russian, and thanks to Google, we have an answer. We think pretty close to say it's Bigracia. So the Big Easy in Russian is Bigracia.
Hey, wait a second. Is that
Bigracia.
Russian or Italian?
Yeah, well, it's an Italian Google. And there, the shutout is broken by the captain, Mikko Koivu. He makes it 6-1.
Right off that face-off, good play to get it out to the slot. And for Habibulin, he's been under a lot of pressure here from Minnesota in this third period. They've come out, continued the barrage of pucks to the net, bodies in front of them. And this one here, just a quick release in the high slot. Real nice pass here by Charlie Coyle, who's been, I think, the best Minnesota Wild player in this game. He's been all over it. Just a backhand out to Koivu in the back of the net. 6-1 now the score.
Habibulin's last start, March 26th, he stopped all 43 shots by the St. Louis Blues for his 46th career shutout. He will not get to add to that total, as Koivu, who has played very well against the Oilers in the past, gets his 6th career goal and 38th career point in 49 games.
Yeah, it's been a little bit of a dry spell here for Mikko Koivu.
Parise with a backhand. Habibul in the save twice. Parise, who's 17 goals on the season, finds himself in the corner getting knocked down by Corey Potter. The fans here at the XL Energy Center have come back onside with that goal. Coyle getting the assist at 9:42. Charlie Coyle has 5 assists on the season and 4 points in his last 5 games. Jeff Petrie sends it around the boards, waiting for it there. Pierre-Marc Bouchard. Well, Nikolai Habibulin made 35 saves before giving up a goal. Brodziak moving in. There's a long shot. Juggling save. And not able to get the shot through was Mitchell on a good defensive play there by Eric Belanger. Brodziak with it now. Brodziak will just flip that one high and get a line change in. The Oilers had dropped 3 straight to the Minnesota Wild this year. And 19 of their last 20 visits. An icing call against the Oilers.
Yeah, this hasn't been a very hospitable place for the Edmonton Oilers in the last few years. And here's a little battle in the corner. Watch Parise with the kick to the inside of the leg of Corey Potter. Always dangerous there. He pulled guard on him as he went down on his back and decides to flail away with the skates. So Potter gives him a good cross check back afterwards. So a little battle in the corner. And for Zach Parise, known for his intensity, for his work ethic, he's not going to give up here down 6-1. He's going to battle right to the end, and he shows a little bit of that battle there, but a little dangerous when the skates get up.
5-time 30-goal scorer. Jeff Petrie to Ryan Smith. Jared Smithson chips it in. He'll chase it himself. Ryan Suter will get to it first, send it around the boards. Cal Clutterbuck waiting for it. He gets stopped. Cullen will give it to Brodin. The Oilers make a change. Brodin flips it in. Suter going after it against Potter. Ryan Suter calmly gets that puck, and he'll get it to the goal scorer, Koivu. Koivu throws it behind the net. Justin Schultz there ahead of Coyle, but Coyle squeezes him off and gets possession. Devin Setaguchi behind the net it goes. Koivu got knocked down in front, couldn't get to the puck. Justin Schultz. Magnus Bjarvi bounces it off the boards. Out of the reach of Jordan Eberle, but that clearing attempt by Suter went into and off the bench of the Wild. We'll be back to St. Paul after this.
This summer, the NHL entry draft will take place in Newark, New Jersey, but coming up, the big event is UFC 159. That's this week, featuring Jones versus Sonnen for the World Light Heavyweight Championship. Sportsnet West, Pacific East, and Ontario will bring you the prelim fights beginning at 6 p.m. Mountain tomorrow night.
Minnesota Wild 14-2 at home in the contest. They 13th team in the league with their home record, but they are getting thumped by the Edmonton Oilers for the first time since November 25th, 2011, when the Oilers scored 5 in a victory. I think the fans here are stunned, Louis. They don't usually see their home team lose to the Edmonton Oilers. Remember when Tom Gilbert was a Edmonton Oiler, he never won here in his career. Minnesota native.
Yeah, it was always a tough time for when he came back to his hometown and played against the Minnesota Wild as a member of the Edmonton Oilers, and then picked up that good fortune with Minnesota over the course of the last couple of years. But not in this evening here, and obviously Nicholas Backstrom was pulled after the first period, or 5 shots in the first period, giving up 3 goals with a perfect 17-0 record coming into this game versus Edmonton at home. So had to come to an end sometime, and looks like tonight's the night.
6.5 minutes left to go.
Be a safe bet anyway.
Yeah, if you're a betting man. Belanger chips it in. He'll go after it, but quickly getting to it with Stoner. He'll play it ahead to Parise. He was squeezed up there by Potter. Those two guys have been going at it all night. They go again. Parise upset at Potter. Potter and he shouts back.
Just gave him a pretty good whack.
And no call.
4 eyeballs missed it.
And that was Paul Dvorsky standing right there.
7 feet away.
Wow. Potter's got it again. Konopka going after him. Konopka goes down. Ryan Jones tied up there by Michael Rupp. And now we've got a penalty, and look at Konopka wants to get Potter to drop his gloves.
Well, he eventually had to call a penalty here as Konopka came off the bench and does the right thing here. If you're sending Konopka on this team, you have to try and get something going.
And Rupp tried to get a piece of Potter, and Ryan Jones got involved.
So the fourth line comes out and engages, and Konopka goes right after Potter, gives him a couple good cross checks, and now Mike Rupp comes out and grabs Jones and still tries to get over at Potter.
And a linesman going down. Potter's got a hold of him. Rupp's not going to take no for an answer as he tries to get at Corey Potter. And this could cost Michael Rupp the rest of this game. Back after missing 4 with a knee injury, but it was Potter and Parise in their battle that carries over. And this is where it started, and it just kept going. We'll sort it out when we come back. Let's take a look at the outstanding play, outstanding results. Brought to you by Remax, Canada's most productive agents.
We're going to go back to the second period. The goal that made it 4-0 for Edmonton. Jordan Eberle, quick little jump on the bench, picks up the puck, goes wide, and a perfectly placed shot up over top of the shoulder of Josh Harding zings it home for a 4-0 lead. Jordan Eberle's 14th goal of the year.
And after that little fracas, both Zenon Konopka and Michael Rupp get 2-minute minors each, and they're also getting 10-minute misconduct. So the Oilers will have their first power play of this game, and it's going to be a 5-on-3 with 5:49 left to go in the third period. Bouchard, Setaguchi will serve those penalties as Konopka and Rupp are gone. Taylor Hall with the puck now. He'll give it to Sam Gagner. Great opportunity here for the Oilers. And Nail Yakupov, he's got 2 goals. The Minnesota Wild have won a shorthanded goal. Kyle Clutterbuck moving in against Justin Schultz, and you know that the Oilers have to be careful here. Gagner. Hall. Yakupov hit the side of the net. Hall trying to get it to him. 2 straight goals for Nail Yakupov, set up by Taylor Hall. Sam Gagner on the point. He'll give it to Justin Schultz. Schultz down low for Eberle. Eberle's got Hall in front. Now to Gagner on the near side. Sam Gagner. Nail Yakupov. Yakupov hangs on. Justin Schultz. Sam Gagner's gone to the other side now. Fakes the slap shot. And it's picked off there and sent out by Mitchell. And went right into the Wild bench.
Well, some good puck movement here by Edmonton, and a real nice tic-tac-toe that eventually gets its way to Nail Yakupov. 2 goals on the night. And looking for that hat-trick goal, and he gets a good shot away, but from a really sharp angle, misses the net here. But no chance for Harding on that one there as he had to lunge across the net. And a nice little pass there by Hall, knowing that Yakupov has 2 goals, tries to give it to him.
The other guy with 2 goals gets a shot now. Corey Potter's out there. He is with Jeff Petrie. Ryan Smith, Magnus Bjarvi, and the captain, Sean Horkoff. 43 seconds of 5-on-3. Corey Potter. Magnus Bjarvi. Bjarvi slowly in, trying to set up Potter for that one-time shot. He'll give it to Bjarvi. Bjarvi right out in front, and is picked off nicely there by Clutterbuck, but look at Potter on the recovery. He'll play it back to Magnus Bjarvi. Petrie's got it. You know they want to get it to Corey Potter. Walking inside of the net, that went right through, intended for Bjarvi. Horkoff and Smith park themselves in front. Bjarvi again moves in so close. Hanging on to it. Now he'll try and feed it across, but Stoner got in the way, and it ends up with Harding. He'll make the save, Gino.
In the future is friendly. Tonight's question: which player led the Oilers with 7 game-winning goals last season? Smith, Eberle, Hall, or Rieger? Enter for your chance to win an Optic TV and Samsung prize package valued at $13,000 or a 32-inch Samsung HD TV. All you have to do is text Oilers to 333-777 or visit telus.com/hockey.
9 seconds left to go in the 5-on-3. Corey Potter stays out there with Justin Schultz. And now some jawing between the Wild bench and the Oiler bench. Mike Yeo, the frustration, Louis, boiling over for him. And knew he was stressed out coming into this game. Potter's shot breaks his stick. Penalty's almost over. Jared Spurgeon against Potter. Potter without his stick. And the penalties are indeed over. Devin Setaguchi and Pierre-Marc Bouchard are back on the ice. They were serving the minors to Rupp and Kanopka. 3 minutes, 35 seconds left to go in this one. Sam Gagner chips it in. He'll chase it himself. Justin Falk and Gagner come together. Gagner trying to center it. He stays with that play. Sam Gagner trying to battle through to get the puck back to the point. Instead, it's Pierre-Marc Bouchard. Bouchard to Spurgeon. No shots for the Oilers on that 5-on-3. Mike Brown can't get it out. Cullen. Drop pass for Spurgeon. Spurgeon, side of the net, steered away by Nick Schultz. Spurgeon races over to keep it in, gets it to Cullen. Cullen trying to fight through the check of Nick Schultz. Stays behind the net. Petrie sweeps it away, but it's Stoner who'll keep it in at the point. Petrie with another chance to get it out, and he's going to go right up the middle with it. Give it to Ryan Smith. Smith back to Petrie. Petrie, button hook. Jeff Petrie with a shot that is stopped by Stoner, carrying on and firing that puck was Jared Smithson. The Oilers with 6 goals on 16 shots. The Minnesota Wild 1 goal on 37 shots. As Nikolai Habibulin looks for his first win since March the 26th. Falk plays it around the boards. Charlie Coyle can't keep it in or can't get it out. And here's Potter. 2 goals on the night for him. Jones, Lander, and Belanger, the forward line. With just over 2 minutes left to go in this one as Lander took a stick up high. Coyle with it now. He had the assist on the only goal for the Wild. Out in front. Trying to get it was Parise. Coyle's got it again. Great battle with Anton Lander behind the net. Charlie Coyle from the corner. He is a tough guy to get the puck away from. Coyle still has it. Now he'll play it behind the cage. Parise to Koivu. Koivu trying to jam it home on the backhand. Nick Schultz sends it into the corner, and Habibulin has lost his stick. He's got it back now, though. Koivu's got possession, being hounded there by Justin Schultz. He'll leave it for Parise. Parise trying to get it back to the captain. Coyle. Koivu, 11 goals on the season. There's a shot by Falk that was blocked by Ryan Jones, but Koivu comes up with it. Parise again trying to feed it out in front. Now he'll feed it back to the point for Justin Falk with a shot right on, and Habibulin's seen enough, and he'll hang on.
Good pressure shift down low by the big line for Minnesota, and as you mentioned, Charlie Coyle with a couple good moves down low to hold on to that puck so strong. Habibulin has to come up with a real quick save on that wraparound attempt. The first one by Koivu, and then the second one by Parise. And much like this game has gone, the chances that Minnesota has had have been right around Habibulin, right around that blue paint crashing in there. So not easy saves, but he's made them.
Stoner blocked by Yakupov. Another shot, and that one deflected high. We're coming down to the final minute of this hockey game. Clutterbuck to Dowell. Taylor Hall. Petrie battling Clutterbuck, and there is Schmid to knock down Clutterbuck. Play continues, the puck sitting there. Now it comes free. Clutterbuck shot. He didn't get all of it. Schmid got his stick in the way. Yakupov wants to get it out and does. He almost set up Taylor Hall. Koivu to Yakupov. Yakupov shot. And that is handled by Josh Harding, and now everybody coming together right at the Minnesota goal.
Well, everybody remembers what happened earlier in the year. Taylor Hall with a big hit on Clutterbuck gets suspended for a couple games because of it. And Cal Clutterbuck gives him a pretty hard ride all the way back to the net in the defensive zone. And when you look back to that game in Edmonton, there's the hit by Hall on Clutterbuck. He missed time because of that hit. Hall missed a couple games as a suspension, and they've never really kind of met up afterwards. But with the score 6-1 and only 27 seconds left on the clock, it's Hall and Clutterbuck that kind of get involved going back to the net. And for Taylor Hall, he dishes out a pretty good cross check at the end of it. And I think both of them are going to get the gate.
And here's what happened.
And it was on the back check for Clutterbuck as he came back. Just kind of rides into Taylor Hall and everybody comes together.
22 seconds to go. The Oilers will win their 10th road game of the season, and the first one in the season series between these two teams. The Minnesota Wild, if they want to qualify for the playoffs, are going to have to beat Colorado tomorrow, because on this day, the Edmonton Oilers dominate and win 6-1. Nikolai Habibulin gets his 4th win of the season, and he was outstanding, making 38 saves on the night.
Terrific performance by him, Kevin. As you mentioned, he was dialed in right from the get-go. Only one gets by him, and for the Edmonton Oilers, opportunistic.